Are you looking forward to a career in writing books and novels? Do you already have a completed manuscript but don't know how to distribute it at relatively lower costs? It may make sense for you to give yourself a start via self-publishing. In case you're not aware of it, self-publishing is a common strategy nowadays for upcoming writers to put their work out to the world. Especially during the modern digital age. Despite having a lot of advantages, there are still certain hassles that you might have to face during its process, but before you start tackling these hassles, the most important decision you'll have to make as a writer is that of the platform you're going to choose to publish your book. One of the best options out there right now is Amazon's Kindle direct publishing platform. It was started all the way back in 2007 and has grown immensely since then. Its success was one of the major factors that helped turn Amazon into the most reliable retailer for books worldwide. I'm not kidding, Amazon received over 310 million unique book buyers last year. That's over $178 billion in revenue. So there's no doubting the potential reach you can receive with the help of the KDP platform. You must be thinking that this option is an obvious choice, right? Well, even if it is, there are a lot of things that you need to keep in mind before going ahead with self-publishing. There's the obvious need for you to be very thorough during your submissions because this industry is not too kind to authors who are prone to making lots of mistakes. You'll also need to get familiar with the whole process of publishing your book on the KDP platform. If you're getting intimidated by all this information, don't worry, that's exactly what this video is for. I am going to simplify this process to you so that you won't have to visit dozens of websites for help while submitting your manuscript. Make sure you follow all the steps and watch this video till the end to completely understand the process in simpler terms. If you want to learn more about making money online, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. Let's check out the process step by step. First up, you'll need to create your Amazon KDP account. Visit kdp.amazon.com and you can register with your email address or your Amazon account. Next, click the Update button in your account section and fill in your tax information. It is very important for you to do this as it is absolutely necessary to submit these details before you can proceed to publish your first book. Then, click the Finished button and return to the main page. Your profile is now complete. Now, you'll need to come up with a book title and subtitle. I must inform you that while a subtitle may be optional, it is highly recommended to have one because it really helps to add more substance to the concept of your story and it also helps to reinforce your title. Your subtitle can prove to differentiate your curious audience from your casual audience. This will bring in more views which will in turn, bring in more sales. While coming up with your title and subtitle, make sure you have a book hook. It is essentially a small tease via a piece of information that will feed into what your readers might want from your book. Make sure the information you provide on the surface is tantalizing enough to catch their attention and arouse their interest in your story. Keep it simple though, nobody likes to read intellectual lines before getting into a book that's at least 50 or 60,000 words long. Also, make sure that your title hasn't already been taken by another book that is performing well. You don't want to get into any unnecessary hassles. Well, you've written a few lines that should be enough to generate an interest, but Amazon's policies require you to also add a book description as it is one of the first few things readers notice in a book, apart from the title and cover. A book description is basically a short written narrative that aims to illustrate and give some insight into what your book is about. In simpler terms, think of it as something that needs to be written almost like a sales pitch in order to capture the interest of your reader and convert that interest into a purchase. One of the main reasons that Amazon wants you to do this is because of its filtration requirements. They are very particular about showing their readers some books that are relevant based on their previous purchases or searches. I must stress that this can be crucial, especially for first-time publishers because more often than not, the description proves to be the final determining factor for a potential reader to convert into a paying customer. Probably, the only other factor that's on the same levels of importance would be book reviews. Remember, if you do it properly, a well-written book description can basically sell your book on its own merit. Do you want some tips for writing a strong book description? For starters, make your first sentence as attractive and enticing as possible. People like to be amazed straight away and probably won't even read your description beyond the first 1 or 2 sentences. Your book description is not a dry summary of your book, it is the advertisement of its story. Write it accordingly. Don't use too many technical terms. Make it feel more personal and empathetic so that the readers can find it relatable. You can mention some of the benefits that your reader will gain by reading your book. It could be anything that you feel is a lesson from the story you are trying to tell. If you are writing a self-help book or something along those lines, then it's easier for you to list a few advantages. Now, with your description done, you need to look out for the keywords. If you want your book to show up as much as possible on Amazon and Google searches, then you'll need the right keywords. It's important to note that Amazon only allows 7 keywords per book, so you'll have to be careful with your selection. Using relevant and popular keywords will help your book appear higher up the search list when someone is looking for a topic similar to yours. For example, if your book is about perseverance, then use keywords like how to have perseverance, become more perseverant, or the importance of perseverance. These are phrases that people who are looking to better themselves with patience would type into search engines in order to find what they're looking for in a book. By including them into your own book, you stand a better chance of reaching out to them. You can visit Publisher Rocket if you want to carry out some research on Amazon and Google search results. Don't rush this process. Putting in the right amount of time for your keywords is crucial towards the success of your book. Amazon offers a collection of categories and subcategories for you to choose from. Your goal is to look for trending areas that don't have tons of competition. It's somewhat similar to selecting keywords. If you're a first-time publisher, try to aim for categories with books that rank between 10,000 and 30,000. It will boost your visibility in those categories. Next, you've got to upload your manuscript. It will need to be in a supported Kindle format. Go to the Your Bookshelf section in your KDP account and click on Kindle eBook Actions next to the title of your book. Then, locate and click on Edit eBook Content. Now, click on Upload eBook Manuscript. Upload your manuscript file on your computer. Once the upload is complete, you will receive a confirmation message and you can review your file for any errors. For designing your book cover, you can either do it yourself by using sites such as Canva, or you can simply hire a freelancer to do it for you. Make sure it looks attractive and fits the topic of your book. Now, you'll also have to price your book. The regular and preferred range is between $2.99 to $9.99 per copy. The royalty payments differ by your country of location, otherwise you usually get a choice between 35% and 70% royalty depending upon how much you can spend on other factors such as design, formatting, and marketing. You could also try pricing your book at the lower end of the scale initially and increase it by $1 every week or every month. It is completely dependent on how all the other factors turn out. There are a few things that you should keep in mind while pricing your book. You should keep your pricing within the same range as your competitors, otherwise not many people will even bother checking out what your book is about. You must also know your fan base. If you are a well-known author who has just decided to self-publish, then you can afford to price your book higher than the others because you have already established a reputation in the market. However, if you're just starting out as a writer, it makes sense for you to price it lower so that you can start off with some exposure and slowly build up your fan base to a point where you can start commanding a higher price for your books. You must also pay attention to the length of your book. There's no point charging $10 for a book that's only 80 pages long. People like to pay for quality and quantity, so keep that in mind. Finally, make sure you've got some great reviews for your book because they are really important for driving traffic towards your listing. And there you have it, your book has been published and is now available for the world to witness. There is a lot of scope in self-publishing, especially for new authors, so I strongly recommend Amazon KDP if this is what you want to get into. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button below, and if there's anything else you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comments. I'm always looking forward to curating new content that can be of some use to you guys. Happy writing and take care.